Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Tundra Cast. And today we have a very special guest, and his name is Francis Wathier. He used to be a player for the Dallas Stars. And today with me on the podcast, I also have Rossi and Raymer.
You guys are more than happy to
That's,
go along.
All right, sick. Well, Rossi, you want to start it off?
well, I would just like to say thank you for coming on to the podcast. Very special guest, being the first guest we've had who's actually played in the NHL, and someone I've actually met, in real life, which is cool. So I guess we'll start it off with more of the basic, like hockey player questions. So like, what was it like on your draft day? Getting drafted as you were drafted in the sixth round. So like, it's
Correct.
not like yeah. So like, what was it getting drafted?
Well, all my life I wanted to be a hockey player. At a young age, I knew I wanted to play in the NHL. That was my dream. We all know the percentage of players that make it to the NHL. So to get drafted was a big step, a step ahead. My family and I, we drove all the way from Ottawa to Nashville, so it was over a 20-hour drive, and it was exciting. It was nervous. My expectation were, how can I say, they were high, but at the same time, I was really there for the experience. I wanted to make sure my agent at the time didn't want me to be there, so I get disappointed.
Oh,
But the thing is, as a family, we decided that no matter what the outcome was coming, I was no matter what the outcomes is coming, we knew that this was going to be a great experience as a family. So we drove with my aunt, my parents, and my billet that where I was playing junior with the Hall Olympic at the time. And to be honest, when my name came up, everybody was in shock. My mom was asking me which team, which team. I kept yelling Dallas, Dallas, and we were just psyched. We were very excited. We didn't know what to say at the time because coming from a small town, I never played really double A hockey or triple A hockey, so I come from a different road as of regular players does. So for us, it was a great moment as a family, and we're still sharing those memories to this day.
yeah. So you were at the draft when it happened, then, right? All right,
Correct.
cool. Cause like I know that a lot of players that are not drafted first round in the first day, they're not usually there. So like you said, it must have been a really cool experience to hear your
Well,
name
for
called.
me, there was players that I played against. Marc-Andre Fleury was the first overall pick, and I did play. He was playing in the queue, so was I. So and we had the same agent at the time, so we had dinner the night before. So for me, I was happy for him and his family. Such a great guy. That guy, we haven't really spoke in a long time, but good person. Really, he deserves everything he's been going through in his career. So I have nothing good thing to say. So when you see guys that you know or you played against, no matter what, if you're opponent or not, it's always a great. Actually, the same day that I got drafted, two guys that I fought in junior got drafted at the same time, and we were like big hugs and big high five in the back, and so we knew we were going to face each other in a couple months in the queue and probably in pro at one day.
See, those are really cool moments that you
Yep.
don't really get to get all the time.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
what was your like favorite place to play in, just in general over your whole career?
So I spend a lot of time in the minors. I would say the best place I played where it was in Austin, Texas. We everything was great about the town, the city. I would say everywhere I played home games in Iowa. I had a great time too. Um, but in the NHL, the best rink I played has to be I'll go with two. The Montreal Canadian, the Bell Center, because that's the team I grew up for. I grew up cheering for. I played an exhibition game there. Had a fight there. Had an assist there. So it was a good night for me and my family. And then I played twice at Medicine House in Chicago. And this building was something back in the 2009, 2010, where They had they were starting their dynasty because when you win 3 cups for me in almost a decade is really something special. And this team was probably the best player, the best team I played in my entire career, and it had to be at the NHL level, so that was awesome.
So you were saying Austin, Texas. It's like not the biggest hockey city that there is. It just was it just the city that you liked mostly?
Well, we lived there, my family and I, for 5 years. We like everything about the lifestyle in Texas. No winter. I mean, as much as I love winter now, or I always did, but for family, it was okay. Put your shoes on and go. It's not
Yeah,
like it
that's
is
the one.
go warm up the car. So there's just always a nice weather, and we really had a good time there for 5 years. We call this we were lucky, 4 years in Iowa, 5 years in Austin. So those two places feel really like home for us still to this day.
Well, that's amazing. So, like, you were traded at one point in your career.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
what was it like? Obviously, it's a big change of scenery.
Yeah, so it was my ninth year pro. I was going with my last year contract with the Dallas Stars, and I spoke with my agent, spoke with the team. I wanted something more. I wanted to start talking for years to come. As far as extension, I knew I was going at the end of my career, so I wanted to stay in the minors in Austin for a long time and develop players and help the new generation coming in. And Dallas had other plans for them. I was not in their plans, and that's hockey. No grief about that. My ice time was limited. I was not playing much game. We had a veteran issue. We had too many vets in the team, and you only allowed 6 per team. So there was a lot of things going wrong on my way, and I want to make sure that I do everything to extend my career by a few years. And so I asked to be traded. Took a long time, and I did to Milwaukee, which was awesome. I spent 2 awesome months. Um, my family didn't come; they stayed in Austin, so that was tough as a family for my wife with our 3 kids.
Oh,
But for personal note, for a professional note, it was Dean Everson was the head coach. I had a lot of great hockey moments over there. My career kind of peaked back at where what I used to be. So it was awesome 2 months over there, and I got treated by Milwaukee Emeralds in Nashville organization A+1.
great. Oh yeah, I did notice that. Like, your stats, they had a big jump when you moved over to Milwaukee. So I guess
Yeah,
the change of scenery does definitely help.
that year, because that year I actually had season tickets to the Admirals games, so every time we'd go and we'd watch the Admirals, and Wathier would just be killing it, and it just seemed like, why isn't he in the NHL right now? Because at
Well,
that
I
point
was
the Predators were struggling, and so it was like, just put him there.
we
He's so good right now.
in Milwaukee. I believe we were just like a point or two out of the playoff,
No,
and
no, you made the playoffs.
yes, we did. But when I arrived, we were like a
Oh
point or
yeah, yeah,
two
yeah,
just out,
yeah.
and I guess they needed a little bit more size. And I came with a full package as far as I was not the fastest, I was not the most goal scorer, but I did make an impact on if I was playing on a top line, making room for the skill guys and making sure I do the hard work and the dirty job. And on the defensive line, well, that was it was my game. I was able to shut down the other team, blocking shots and playing a physical. And I did drop the mitts a little bit in Milwaukee, and and so we as a group we really bonded, and we got some help. We got Yarncroc came to got traded from Detroit to come with us, so that he was a big part of our success. Forsberg was definitely very good player for us. Like I said, everything happened, and we gelled in the last couple under 20 game or so. And it's too bad that we didn't have any success in the first round against Toronto. Kind of everything went out of our way, but hockey's hockey. But no, like I mentioned, we had a good stint there, and I still keep in touch with a lot of players from that team.
Well, that's a coach's dream, right? Defensive liner.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
Uh, what was your favorite moment of your career? Like I know, like on your NHL debut, you got into a fight uh with Mike Brown, if I remember correctly.
Correct,
You
correct.
got into a fight and you know everything. But what was your favorite moment of your entire career?
I would say definitely my first NHL game. That's a dream come true. You play a few exhibition games, but that's nothing like the one who's going to show on papers on Elite Prospect or Hockey DB. So that will stay there forever. I remember I was actually in my apartment with my wife. Our oldest son was 3 or 4, 3 at the time. I was fixing his bed and got a call for a GM. He's like, "You're going up." And at the time, there was 2 players on our team that did got called up, and they stayed only one day. So I knew that they were kind of like circling, say, okay, who's gonna stand up and who's gonna make a mark. And so I knew if I go there, I didn't want to get back the next day. So I had to show something that I was going to stay or I wanted to stay. And so definitely Anaheim was a great, obviously great town to play your first game. But the year before that, I played in Iowa for the Iowa Chops. The Iowa Stars were there for 3 years. We didn't have a farm team my 4th year pro, so I got loaned to Anaheim, which was relocating in Iowa. So I knew a lot of players. So I knew Bobby Ryan, Mickelson, a couple other players that I knew that we played on the same farm team the year before. So playing against those guys were awesome the year after. So getting called up, practice in the morning, flying to Anaheim, and then playing the next night. That's something for forever that I will cherish and remember. And like you mentioned, I had fought Mike Brown, the minors, when he was in Manitoba with the Moose, with Vancouver's farm team at the time, and I knew, right away. I'm like, okay, if I want to stay, I gotta show that I want to stay, and that was part of my game. And I played 5 minutes in that game, had a couple shots, a couple hits, and I stayed a few days. I got sent down because they had injuries coming back, and I was right away the guy to get called up again fast. So I did leave a positive mark, and I played 5 NHL game that year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like you said, you left a positive impact, and you got into five more after that, right? So
Correct, correct.
that's pretty good. And so, I just want to move over to your hockey academy. So, like, what inspired you to have that idea of making that hockey academy? What's your favorite part about it?
So since 2008, I've been running hockey camps in the just outside Ottawa for people. And I come from a small town, 1,000 people, so everybody knows everybody. And so the Eastern Ontario region has a lot of good hockey players. So for since 2008, I've been doing off ice and on ice training. So I was kind of preparing my after career slowly. I knew that I wanted to do this, and um, I'm enjoying this to this day, big time. So when I professionally retired in 2015, I kept playing in a semi-pro league in Quebec for about 4 years, and my wife and I were figuring what we wanted to do with our life. So she went back to school. She's now a real estate agent, and this came through. It's called Sport Études. It's a second study. So the kids go into school in the morning. They're part of a program that. It's a special program that kids go into school in the morning. In the afternoon, they're my supervision. So we do on ice and off ice training. So we have 75 kids at the high school age, and so yeah. So technically, they follow my path of teaching on the ice and off ice, and I got a big group of trainers and on ice instructors following me. And yeah, so we've been running now this for 3 years with the school, and it's been a success. We've been involving players from like a Rep B or a double B level to a double A, and we're introducing this year some triple A players. So it's been a good road, and we're hopeful to keep it going this way.
Okay, well, uh, hockey's a pretty expensive sport. A lot of parents are paying $2,000 and more every single year to get their kids to play hockey. Do
Yes.
you, is this like Hockey Academy in any way to help kids who aren't as fortunate to be able to play?
I, it's we're trying to make it as affordable as possible.
Yeah.
Ice is not cheap. We cannot beat 30 kids on the ice with one instructor, so we have to have instructor on the ice. So yes, it's not. I cannot say it's for everyone. Kids needs to their parents need to have a decent job to be able to afford this. So and it's the reality of the sport. It costs a lot of money with the arena and the buildings to train. So it is a privilege. Two things. Kids needs to be very very good in school. So academically, they have to have a step ahead. And secondly, they need to be high athletes that wants to be part of a program. We have no time on our side to deal with babysitting system. We want to make sure that the kids are coming in. They want to get better. They want to get stronger, and they're listening at every day on every directive that needs to be done. So, yeah, we refused people in the past. I did call some parents, say, hey, this is not the program for your son. I'll give you back your money, and because we have no time to deal with people that don't want to be there. So. It is a privilege to be there, and like I mentioned, it's not for everyone, and yes, there's a big cost coming with it.
Okay, well, so you were mentioning you have like a wide variety of players, right? So do you like have to split them up into groups kind of thing?
Well, right now, like before the pandemic with COVID, we're splitting them in age groups. So grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, 10, 11, and so on. So they're part of only their grades, their high school age, and within that we have three teams that are part of a prep school as well. So it's two program in one. Twice a week, it's really hockey development, so skill, power skating, station. And after that, 2 days a week, it's their team practices. So we do more systems and like the regular one-on-one, two-on-ones, and breakout and forecheck and all that kind of stuff. So we try to keep them within 2-3 years age group on the ice, so they can compete against each other. But since the pandemic with the COVID, it's been tough. We've been we're able to be on the ice here. Um, we have strict rules. So if they're part of a class, a bubble class, they need to be on the ice together. They cannot be mixed with others. So it's been very challenging for me and my staff to coordinate it all. But we're trying to make it happen as much as possible for the kids. So we have to split them a little bit more instead of being 25 30 kids on the ice for an hour and a half. We have an hour on the ice with 12 kids. So the volume is not the same. As a staff, it is tough, but we want the kids to be on the ice as much as possible.
Yeah, and you'd have experience in not only that because you played, but you were also a coach for the Jatno Olympic in 17, 18, 18, 19, if I
Yeah,
remember
so I
correctly.
Yeah, I've been coaching at the junior level for 4 years. 2016, I coached at the junior A level, and then the following 3 years with Gano until last year in the Q. This year, I decided to focus a little bit more on my academy. Takes a lot of my time. I got three kids in hockey as well, so I want to develop them as well and spend time with them as well. I'm still involved with the Gano Olympic as a skill coach and power skating coach. So I go see players once a week and focus on their individual abilities. And yeah, so far it's been working good for us.
Okay, well, so you had this hockey academy for 3 years, you said?
Well, it's been I've been running since 2008, but it's been summertime only and
Ah,
private session here and there. But this for 3 years, it's been an everyday kind of thing since September all the way to June. I follow the school calendar as far as on ice and off ice training. They're technically like whenever they're under my supervision, I gotta give them grades on how they do stuff and um, how they're getting better. So it's really a program part of the school. And during the summer, I keep doing some on ice stuff, off ice stuff, just to keep my business going. And but yeah, for the last 3 years, I've been focusing really on with that school. They hired my academy to run their hockey program.
okay. Well, so have any of these players that you've had in your hockey program have they like excelled? Have they gone to like high performing leagues?
So far, the only one that came out of the program attended a junior A camp. He's affiliated with the junior A, so he's playing junior B. I believe in the next year or two, we have probably a caliber of guys that will go play junior A. Hopefully, junior major very soon. So far, like I said, 3 years. Um, so one guy and all the rest they're playing. Uh, uh, um, it's kind of like a university league here, but it's just under the big university. So we've
Okay.
been developing good players, and we're looking forward to keep adding more players to this group. But yeah, it's looking good so far. So we're excited to continue doing so.
Yeah.
Sorry. You played in a couple different semi-pro leagues in your career. Could you walk us
Yes.
through like what the competition was like and how your teams were?
So in 2016, I was going to play in Europe, and the semi-pro team called me. Um, I'll be honest, at the moment, I was not too excited about this. I'm like, I'm not there yet. I don't, and I went to play 6 games, and I'll be honest, I completely fell in love with the group of guys that was there. Um, now everyone's got a regular job during the day, one practice a week, and then 2 games a weekend. I would say I would establish this as a bottom team in the East Coast League.
Hmm.
A lot of those guys they played Europe. Some played pro. My first year, we have 12 guys in the league. There was 8 teams that played in the NHL. So there is some good caliber players. And after 6 game, I was ready to go in Europe, and they made an offer I couldn't resist, and I stayed, and it was better for me and my family. I was home, I didn't have to leave, and I gained a lot of respect for the players that are playing in this league as far as different individual. Yes, it's a fighting league, but this is a show, so the fighters do their things whenever they need to be done, and whenever there's hockey playing, it's very physical. Um, it's old school hockey, so you need to be tough to play in this league. Everybody's finished their check. They're playing with a little bit, a little lemon in their mouth. So anyway, and it was my style of playing, and I absolutely loved it. So I signed for a few years after that, and I played for 4. I was supposed to just help out this year, play a couple games so I can be eligible for playoff. But COVID didn't make this happen. But I had a blast all the years that I played in this league, in the semi-pro. I was able to go play in the Federal League. That was kind of like just helping out a friend. And anyway, for me, anytime there's a competitive hockey game, I'm in. I play men's league at the moment, and it's not really my thing. I love it because I play with my buddies, my friends. But anytime a guy slashes me, I cannot do anything about it because I know I'm going to be in trouble if I drop my glove with them. It really, sorry, my word, it really pisses me off. Like I wish I could just like drop them and beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, you want to drop the mitts sometimes.
But had to be. I don't want to have a lawyer calling me and owing the guy money because I broke his nose.
So,
Yeah.
do you ever have a plan of going back to a semi-pro league then?
Yes, I had planned this year to play about 5, 10 games out of 40, and be eligible for playoff. And um, hopefully that it would have been nice. And my kids loves it. We drive as a family. We stayed there for a weekend. I played 2 games. We come back. They enjoy it, and they see daddy play. Still, for them, NHL or semi-pro, they don't know, right? They
Yeah,
just see um, they just see daddy playing. So it's been fun.
great. Well, so you were played with a lot of players and coach and under a lot of coaches through your career. So who were the ones that had like the biggest impact, or the ones you remember the most, kind of thing?
I'll say Glenn Gulletson, the head coach. He's assistant coach with Edmonton right now. He was head coach in Dallas, Calgary. He was assistant coach in Vancouver as well. He had the most impact. My first year in Iowa, in Austin, I arrived there as a third four liner, for 4 years in the minors. And he put me on a second line with Greg Rallo and Aaron Gagnon. Greg Rallo is the assistant coach in Milwaukee right now, and us three, we had a unbelievable year. I think we were combined points. We were the top line in the AHL at one point. We stayed together the entire season. We really, really, really had a good run, and it was really clear. He's like, Bud, he's like, keep keep good care of those 2 guys, and they'll make their mark as point. And I finished with close to 40 points, and it was a great season. He gave me opportunity to play a little bit more offense, and I had a specific role, and which I kind of loved. And the second guy I would say that I kind of I'm now coaching like him is Willie Desjardins. He was head coach in Vancouver, a little bit in LA. Not that he was great for me personally, because at the time I was not able to he couldn't put me in the situation I could. I was at the end of my career. I think Dallas system wanted me to play to help the young kids on the fourth line, stuff like that. But what I really like about Willie is the way he prepares practice, prepares game, the way he talked to players. I really learned from him to become a better coach. I was not a coach at the time, but now I'm as a coach. I'm taking a lot of what he did. So Gullison has for my player perspective, and Willie as a coach, he really showed me how to be a good coach.
So just like, uh, so do you still talk to any of them?
Yes, obviously, I always attend to the NHL conference, the coach conference. That's somewhere I go that it's really good for me. You meet so many peoples, and a lot of coach you coach against, a lot of players play against, GM. So it's a good roundabout. And me, I wanna stay in coaching, and I want to go back to coaching one day when my kids are getting a little bit older. um, and every time I see Gully or Willie over there, we have a blast talking, and they were a very good impact in my life, and we've been keep in touch ever since.
All right.
What would you say is the best team that you have played for in your career?
The best team I played for, um, that's a very good question. I'm trying to think. I was lucky. I played a lot on a good teams. In the queue, we had Maxim Talbot as a captain who played for Pittsburgh and Philly, and so we won the cup in the queue for 2 years in a row. So those were great moments. The year we lost in the AHL, we had Jamie Benn that came back from Dallas, and we lost in the Calder Cup to Hershey. We had a great team there. And I would say the year we won in the Coast, my second year pro, we had a good group. So I can't single point one exactly. I would say probably the year we lost to Hershey. was one of the top team, and the reason why is we were not supposed to win at all, and we just had a lot of guys devoted to win. Yes, Jamie Benn really helped. Obviously, I think he was leading scorer, so without him, probably we're not there. But he was able to give us that extra boost that we needed to be successful. But yeah, I would say. Yeah, I would say my fifth year and the first year in Austin, that was a special year, year round, and be able to make that run to the playoff. And obviously, it didn't end up the way we all wanted to be, but it was a special year for us.
Okay, so it's just like, what's the difference? So you said you won and you've lost in the finals as well. So is there a big, like, how different is it? Or I know it's obviously different, but like the obviously so happy that you're winning versus being crushed that you've lost, being coming so close.
I think what exactly you mentioned when you lose, it's all the hard work, and it's you almost think you did it for nothing, right? But the next day, if you had to do it all over again, you would, because at the end of the line, like you're competing for that trophy. Um, so I believe, um, like I mentioned, you when you lose, you think back of what could I done more, and I believe that's where you get better as a player or as a coach or an individual. You're like, okay, you're trying to find new ways or better ways to win, and that's where if you sit on what you have, you're never gonna get better as a staff or as a player. But when you think, okay, next time or next game I'll be able to do so, I'll do that more. That's why I think you get better as, like I mentioned, like as a staff or as a coach or as a player. So for me, is always learning is always important. Making sure you learn the right way. And if you did mistake, a mistake will happen. It's normal. You just got to make sure that you don't do them anymore, and you learn, and you make sure you get better every time. So it's a fine line. Um, Obviously, nobody will say otherwise that it's more fun to win. When you get great lesson when you lose, and you're able to teach those lessons at one day, which I am now. I'm able to take kids that I can't say that I did it all, and they if they want to have a solid year to listen, well, I'm there to teach them the right path, the right way.
Yeah, yeah, going to the finals and losing has to be, pretty crushing, but you learn something from it. But going to the finals and winning and be able to lift the Calder Cup has to be such a great, feeling for you, for you and, your entire team. So, and I would say like both of them are learning, right?
Well, so I lost against Hershey the Calder Cup, but I did win in the East Coast the Kelly Cup. So I didn't actually win the Calder Cup the year that
Oh yeah, my bad.
the year that the Texas Stars won the Calder Cup. I got traded to Milwaukee that year, so that felt a little
Uh,
bittersweet. I leave and they win,
yeah,
but at the time it was the right decision, and who knows? Maybe if I would have stayed, I would have won too. But hey, it's life, and at the time I needed to make that decision on my career, and yeah, like I said, when you're so close, it hurts, and you it gets you even more prepared for the year to come, and because you want to do it again. But having said that, when you're in the moment, it's hard to cherish every moment because you're just living it. But I tell the kids, when you do or when you're in something, you gotta be able to live it because you don't know when that's coming back. Some guys, you know, in junior we won twice the President Cup, which leads to the Memorial Cup. We lost both Mem Cup in finals, and I have friends that play in the queue at the same time as me. They haven't won a round, right? And I won twice the cup. So you need to, like, I was extremely lucky at that time, at that age, to be able to go twice to the Mem Cup, and some guys haven't won a series yet. So it's been it's different.
yeah. So, I know when I met you, back in 2013, 2014 for the Admirals fundraiser, you had showed us some whittling and a table you made,
Yep.
and I was gonna ask, do you still whittle, and like, what's some of your favorite things you have made?
Well, I consider myself a handyman. Maybe not the greatest, but a good handyman. So, I was raised working on a farm. So for me, working for my hand, working with my hands and, um, doing stuff outside, I actually love it. So yes, in Austin, I had some free time. We lived there for a summer. My wife was pregnant with our third child. We didn't want to come back to Ottawa. We wanted to stay there for the birth and everything like that. So I did a few tables, dining table for our new house. I actually done a second one that we sold for a customer. I did her desk. Did both my boys' beds. So um, so that was over there, kind of handyman. I like it. I like to fix things. Yesterday, we live in the country. At this time now, we're spending a lot of time home. We have an outside
Yeah.
rink, so I like to put on a fire, so everybody could get hot whenever they get cold. And so we have on our property some dead trees. So yesterday, chainsaw, everything like this, splitting wood, and so that are the kind of things that I kind of do. And I got into doing some skidooing lately.
Oh.
So we have nice trails around here. So I put the kids to bed and I go for a little ride, and
Mm.
it's very therapeutic for me. I kind of evade from what's going on right now, and it's therapeutic for me, like I mentioned. So it's nice. So I'm a guy that likes the outdoors, so big time. So um, yep.
Yeah, so I'm a cottager. I go to the cottage a lot with my parents, and it is obviously a lot of work, and you have to be pretty handy. And I kind of feel you where first of all you're saving a lot of money if you're doing things by yourself, and also it's just fun, really.
Well, for me, I enjoy, like I mentioned, enjoying working, doing stuff on my own, and now I like to teach it to my kids, right?
Hmm.
If something broke, you fix it. If you can't fix it, then you call the professional. But if you gotta try at least,
Yeah.
it's not like you're putting you go on YouTube, you say, hey, how to change a spark plug. You go on YouTube, they're gonna show you where. You make sure you bought the right one, you got the right tool. And to be honest, like those are little things that if you like to put your hand dirty a little bit and take some time just to treat you like uh, to check it out, you should be fine. So yeah, it's all a matter of willing to learn, willing to do some extra work, and making sure you do it the right way. And but at the same time, when you're not able to fix it, you need to push the button and say, okay, I gotta call the real professional now. You cannot be too eager to do that either.
Yeah.
I was just
Y-
wondering, how exactly did you get into whittling?
I'll be honest, it was just it's a funny story. My wife in the new house, she's a big fan of the store Restoration Hardware. So it was this beautiful table on sale, and the price was extremely high at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, no, we're not spending that money on this. She's like, well, you got two options. Either you buy it for me or you built it. So I decided to build it. And so I went to the Lowe's store, bought all the tool that I didn't have to finish the product, and I went online. I kind of got a shemo, I don't know how to say it in English, kind of like something that looked exactly like it, and I kind of just followed the path. The table itself took me 40 hours, and the benches on each side took me 40 each, so 80 hours total took me to assemble, sand, stain, varnish, so I did it all. And then the second table that I did to sell, because, I got so much compliment from people coming in, it took me 40 hours. It took me half the time,
Yeah.
but, so you learn through your experiences, I guess. And so, yeah, so that was the story of it. So, yes, we did save some money, but probably not saving some time if I if I would give myself $20 an hour, definitely I would have passed the the amount of money that table would have cost me at the store. But it's always something when we eat on it. It reminds me of the hard work that I put in, and she loves it. The kids loves it, so that's
Yeah,
price well paid for us to be able to do that. So
yeah, and it's definitely a beautiful table because I
no,
saw it
thank
too
you.
because you showed it to me, and I really liked it, and it kind of got me into like whittling a bit and wood burning.
Nice, nice.
Um, but yeah, like okay, on to the big fundraiser.
Yep,
Uh, I remember 2013, 2014. There was a Milwaukee Admirals held a fundraiser at the end of the year. It was right before the playoffs that they held a
yep.
fundraiser at Dave and Buster's, and I remember going there with my family, and I was really nervous because you're going to meet a hockey player that you really look up to and idolize, and I got paired with you, of course, and excuse my dog's barking.
No problem.
Sorry about that. Um, I got paired up with you, and you were very genuine, and you left a big imprint on me, and I kind of started looking up to you a lot more than already, and it was just very fun to play, hang out with you and everybody, and play games, and I still remember uh every single hockey player was absolutely merciless in the games, especially you with Mario Kart. I remember you absolutely destroying me, and I was just like, "Oh." So it was really fun to hang out with all the players, and meet them all and hang out with them. I had a lot of fun with you and everybody. And I'd say like that moment kind of inspired me to do a lot of things that I wouldn't normally do. It especially inspired me to actually contact you and get you on this podcast. Um, it was a lot of fun. Of course, you have like some of those players I met back in the day, like Yarncroc and Forsberg, now on the Predators. And even the people who aren't on the Predators now, you still have fond memories of playing with. Like my sister getting getting destroyed in air hockey against Joe Piscola. You just absolutely wrecking me in Mario Kart. So it's always fun to go back and think about that day, and it was just very special for me growing up.
Well, I appreciate those kind words. As a player, we do have a responsibility. Um, or every hockey player is at every level, so you're doing something. We're getting paid to play hockey. That's not usual. There's not a lot of people that are able to say that. So I consider myself extremely, extremely lucky. And like you mentioned, yes, we need to be able to be a mentor for kids that want to be able to do the same thing. And knowing that I did that, and it's makes my day, and I appreciate the sharing because we, as a player, you want to be able to leave a mark, and if you're able to help at any time, like I was really involved in Iowa and Austin, everywhere I play, was really involved in the community and doing a lot of stuff. And when you go to the to hospital and you see kids sick, like you wish you could take, you know, um, not the bullet for them because well, yes, because you want them to feel better, but you just feel so bad. So anything you can do to make their day, to make them feel better, to put a smile on their face. I was coming back home completely drenched of like exhausting, of just saying wow, like I'm playing hockey, they're battling their life. I'm lucky, and I was taking my kids at home, hugging them. No kids should go through this. So whenever you're able to help and put a solid imprint on somebody's life, that's that's your that's your job. That's part of your job. And if you're not able to do that, I don't have much respect for people that can't.
Yeah, like on to leaving big imprints, like with me especially, contacting you, it kind of looking at you, recalling back to when the the fundraiser and just most of your career, it kind of like gave me the courage to overcome my crippling anxiety and to contact you, because
Nice.
when I called you, I was pretty worried. To be honest, I was hoping just like I wouldn't do anything to kind of like mess it up. But the phone call went well, and I'm happy that you actually decided to join us, even though we're still pretty small. It means a lot to me and to everybody here, even the people who couldn't make it on the podcast today.
Well, I appreciate you guys reaching. If it could be a start for something great for you guys, I'm happy to be part of it. And when somebody wants to do something good in life, I believe if you're able to help or in any way or just support or kind of do something, I believe that you have to be able to do that. So keep on going the good work, and hopefully you guys can have even more success.
Thank you so much, Francis,
Thank
for
you so
coming on.
much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
We wish you and your family a lot of pleasure, great memories in the future.
yeah,
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you for the time. We'll talk soon. And like I said, if you have any other question, any other topic, I'll be more than happy to help out.
Great.
yeah. We'll be glad to have you on again.
Excellent. Good luck.
You too. So yeah, everyone, that was Francis Wathier. And for me, Rossi, Rammer, everyone at TundraCast, thank you very much for listening. Have a good day.